FM. A very good evening. This is Avanindra Som and you're listening to the news in detail on Gold FM. In your headlines this evening, remains of Iranian sailors killed in torpedo attack to be repatriated. Sri Lanka and Russia discuss fuel purchasing. Police destroy nearly 200 kilograms of seized narcotics. Iran is exercising sheer desperation in the Strait of Hormuz, says US. 4 killed in US military refueling plane crash. Nearly 1,500 killed by US-Israeli attacks on Iran.
The top story on Gold FM.
The bodies of 84 Iranian sailors killed following an American torpedo attack on the IRIS Dina off the coast of Gaul are being repatriated to Iran. A special aircraft currently at Mattala International Airport will transport the remains, which were formally handed over to the Iranian embassy in Colombo. Foreign Ministry spokesperson Tushar Rodrigo confirmed that the handover followed standard protocols for foreign nationals. The IRIS Dana ship sank on the 4th of this month after a US submarine torpedoed it in international waters about 19 nautical miles from Gaul. With 84 lives were lost, a humanitarian operation led by the Sri Lankan government successfully rescued 32 other sailors from the vessel. In the meantime, the popular aircraft tracking website Flightradar24 confirmed the arrival of a Turkish aircraft at Mattal Rajapaksa Airport this afternoon from Antalya, Turkey.
This is the local news on Gold FM.
Foreign Minister Vijitha Herath engaged in discussions with Russian Ambassador Levan Jagarian to secure a continuous fuel supply for the island. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs announced the ambassador's agreement to immediately convey Sri Lanka's request to the Russian government. During the meeting, the ambassador reaffirmed Russia's commitment to supporting Sri Lanka whenever necessary. In contrast to these diplomatic efforts, petroleum trade unions reported that 2 foreign companies involved in local fuel distribution decided to limit supplies to pumping stations. However, Ceylon Petroleum Corporation Managing Director Mayuranethy Kumara sought to ease public fears, stating that fuel stocks required until the end of April already exist under official orders. President Anura Kumara Dissanayake chaired a vital meeting on the Economic Oversight Committee at the Presidential Secretariat yesterday afternoon. The session focused on shielding the national economy and public welfare from external shocks. Discussions centered on rising global oil prices, disrupted shipping routes, and international trade hurdles stemming from the escalating conflict in the Middle East. The committee explored immediate measures to stabilize local markets against these global pressures. In the meantime, National People's Power General Secretary Nihal Abhay Singha addressed the media in Colombo, urging citizens to limit the consumption of imported goods and services during this period of uncertainty. Meanwhile, Deputy Minister of Ports and Civil Aviation Janitha Ruwan Korituakku noted that fluctuations in airfare remain likely following the surge in aviation fuel costs. Further economic impact appeared in the tourism sector, with Deputy Minister Ruwan Ranasinghe reporting a 30% decline in arrivals during a press briefing in Trincomalee today. Electricity sector trade unions expressed satisfaction after a meeting with President Anura Kumara Dissanayake at the Presidential Secretariat in Colombo this afternoon. Union representatives stated that the discussions yielded positive results and they remain confident the President will address their grievances fairly. The members clarified that the organization maintains no intention of creating instability or opposing the government's mandate. During the session, the President pledged to hold a follow-up discussion this evening with the chairpersons and the boards of directors of the newly established power sector companies. He committed to resolving the specific issues raised by the unions during that high-level meeting. Furthermore, the President issued an immediate order to suspend the recruitment of electrical superintendents and engineers from external sources into these new entities. Lawyers for former Sri Lankan Airlines CEO Kapila Chandrasena made a startling allegation in the Colombo Magistrates Court today, claiming their client faced undue pressure to name politicians during his interrogation. President's counsel Rienzi Arasukulratna informed the court that while the Bribery Commission recorded a statement yesterday, Director General Ranga Dissanayake allegedly moved Chandrasena to a separate room during a lunch break and coerced him into implicating specific political figures. Chandrasena remains in remand custody until the 19th of this month, following his arrest after a 9-hour interrogation regarding the controversial Airbus procurement deal. Investigations suggest a conspiracy to solicit bribes through a shell company registered in Brunei under his wife's name. The defense requested permission for Chandrasena to provide direct statements to the magistrate regarding the alleged coercion. Additional Magistrate Lahiru Silva noted the request and directed the defense to raise the matter again when the case officially resumes next week. The Colombo Special High Court Trial at Bar directed the presentation of defense evidence on the 26th of March regarding the case against former Defense Secretary Hemasiri Fernando and former Inspector General of Police Pujit Jayasundara. Both defendants appeared in court today as proceedings continue into their alleged failure to prevent the 2019 Easter Sunday attacks. The charges focus on the claim that both officials neglected to act despite receiving specific intelligence warnings prior to the bombings. The court order follows a lengthy hearing process aimed at determining accountability for the security lapses surrounding the tragedy. The Commission to investigate allegations of bribery or corruption informed the Colombo Magistrate Court today that investigations into former State Minister Shashindra Rajapaksa are complete. The case involves allegations that the former minister illegally obtained 8 million rupees as compensation for a political office destroyed during the Aragalaya protests. The Bribery Commission claims the office stood on land belonging to Mahaweli Authority, making the compensation claim a violation of the Anti-Corruption Act. Shashindra Rajapaksa and 2 other suspects who remain out on bail appeared before the court, as officials confirmed that all investigation files are now with the Commission for further action. The magistrate ordered the case to be recalled on the 10th of July to receive a progress report on the proceedings.
Now for some news in brief.
The National Water Supply and Drainage Board discovered the country's largest water ground near Akuras and Pitavaddara with an estimated flow rate of about 10,000 litres per minute, surpassing the previous record held in the Madhu area.
The business news on Gold FM.
The all-share price index of the Colombo Stock Exchange declined 295.57 points to close at 21,692.55 points. The S&P SL 20 index also declined 87.63 points to close at 6,084.65 points. Total market turnover was 5.2 billion rupees. Global oil benchmarks retreated today following the departure of an Indian vessel from the Strait of Hormuz and new US measures to stabilize energy markets. Brent futures fell 89 cents to $99 and 57 cents a barrel, while West Texas Intermediate crude dropped $1 and 72 cents to $94. The Export Development Board held a meeting to address challenges faced by exporters of key products to the Middle East due to the ongoing regional conflict. The discussions focused on identifying support measures the EDB and relevant institutions could provide to ensure the continued flow of exports during this uncertain period. Representatives from major export sectors including tea, spices, fruits and vegetables, as well as food and beverages and coconut-based products, attended the meeting. Through this engagement, the EDB aimed to develop a framework for continued assistance to exporters and present those concerns at the upcoming Export Development Council of Ministers meeting.
International news on Gold FM.
United States Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth announced the highest volume of airstrikes against Iran to date, claiming the coalition is on plan to destroy all meaningful military capabilities of the Tehran regime. At a Pentagon briefing, officials stated that over 15,000 targets faced bombardment, including defense manufacturing sites and naval assets.
Iran has no air defenses. Iran has no air force. Iran has no navy. Their missiles, their missile launchers and drones being destroyed or shot out of the sky. Their missile volume is down 90%. Their one-way attack drones yesterday, down 95%. And as the world is seeing, they are exercising sheer desperation in the Straits of Hormuz. Something we're dealing with. We have been dealing with it and don't need to worry about it. We're on plan to defeat, destroy, disable all of their meaningful military capabilities at a pace the world has never seen before.
General Dan Kane confirmed the US military maintains a focus on dismantling mine-laying operations in the Strait of Hormuz to ensure energy flows.
In just the first 13 days of this operation, our artillery forces have made history. They fired the first precision strike missiles ever used in combat, reaching deep into enemy territory. They've used Army ATACMS to sink multiple ships, including a submarine, and they've done all of this with the precision and determination that comes from relentless training and trust in each other and in their weapon systems. Today will be our heaviest day of kinetic fires across the operating area. CENTCOM continues to attack ballistic missile and drone capabilities so that they are no longer a threat to U.S. forces, our bases, or our partners. They're continuing to destroy the Iranian Navy to ensure freedom of navigation. This means going after Iran's mine-laying capability and destroying their ability to attack commercial vessels. And we're targeting their defense industrial base so they cannot rebuild the capabilities that can harm America's interests or our partners in the future. As Admiral Cooper said in his update on Wednesday, Iranian combat power continues to decline.
The conflict continues to spread across the region in the meantime, with Iran launching a new wave of missiles towards Israel and drone attacks targeting a military base in Beersheba. In the Gulf, Saudi Arabia, the United Arab Emirates and Bahrain reported intercepting hundreds of incoming drones and missiles. Tensions further spiked as NATO confirmed downing a ballistic missile over Turkish airspace. The humanitarian toll in the meantime is rising, with reports of fatalities from Israeli airstrikes in southern Lebanon and an attack near a public rally in Tehran. In the occupied West Bank, residents face a surge in military raids and settler violence. United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres arrived in Beirut for a solidarity visit, calling for an immediate ceasefire and an end to the dominance of armed groups. Global markets also remain in turmoil, as we covered in the business section, as Brent crude oil surpassed $100 a barrel once again. Southeast Asian ministers in the meantime urged an immediate halt to hostilities, warning of severe economic shocks to trade and energy supplies amid the disruption. Several Gulf nations invoked force majeure on gas exports, while Iraq and Bahrain extended the closure of their national airspace until at least Monday. In the meantime, India's Ministry of External Affairs confirmed that 2 Indians were killed and 10 were injured in an attack in the Sohar city of Muscat, Oman this afternoon.
Entertainment news on Gold FM.
Singer Morrissey abandoned a scheduled concert in Spain after claiming a lack of sleep left him. The former Smiths frontman blamed loud techno music and megaphone announcements at a Valencia hotel for the cancellation. A statement on the Morrissey Central website described the experience as an indescribable hell, making rest impossible.
Sports news on Gold FM.
St. Thomas's College ended the second day of the 147th Battle of the Bulloos in a strong position after posting 302 runs in their first innings at the SSC. Prashant Solomons led the scoring with 66, while Gagan Gamage provided the pick at the Royal bowlers with figures of 4 for 49. Royal College reached 175 for 4 at stumps, trailing by 127 runs thanks to an unbeaten 70 from Ramiro Pereira and a solid 63 from Rehan Piris. Gimhan Mendes took 2 wickets for the Thomians to ensure the match remains competitive heading into the final day of play. The Iranian national football team issued a statement on social media asserting that no external power can exclude them from the 2026 FIFA World Cup. This defiance follows an announcement by Iranian Sports Minister Ahmad Mali that the country would not participate in the tournament following military strikes by the US and Israel. The team countered that the World Cup remains a FIFA-governed international event and that their qualification was secured through decisive victories on the pitch. Head coach Amir Galnoy endorsed the statement, which also took a swipe at the United States as a host nation, questioning its ability to provide security for participating teams. While FIFA President Gianni Infantino recently claimed Donald Trump offered assurances that the Iranian squad would be welcome, the domestic rift between the sports ministry and the players creates significant uncertainty. And that's all the news for now. Stay tuned to Gold FM for the latest updates, the next news highlight at 7:30 p.m. as well as the news roundup of the day at 8:30 p.m.